Gervonta Davis's own trainer doesn't have no faith in his own fighter's abilities to fight fighters like Shakur Stevenson.
Well, why would I put Tank in a situation like that when we can't do what we do? Because right now, if Tank don't get a knockout...
We already know that Gervonta Davis has been avoiding the big names for years now. But what if his coach, Calvin Ford, says is true? Then we may never see Gervonta Davis in a competitive fight again. I don't know about you, but it looks to me that he doesn't want to put his fighter in a position where he has any chance of losing. Not only would this be sad for Gervonta, but also sad for the fans too. Being deprived of seeing him in big fights that we all want to see, like Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, or Teofimo Lopez. The PBC and Amazon are starting to announce dates for their next fights. And as I'm making this video, we still don't know who Gervonta's gonna be facing next. Rolly Romero and Isaac Cruz are facing each other next, so they're out of the picture. And now the big question is, why? Who will Gervonta Davis be fighting next? He has pretty much ducked every big name in his own division at 135 and in the division above 140. And if Gervonta is this big pay-per-view star as they claim to be, then he needs to fight someone recognizable to the fans. Someone legit, a fighter that actually may have a chance of beating him and take his newly upgraded WBA title off him. In his division, he has fighters like William Zepeda, Frank Martin, and Edwin De Los Santos. And at 140, he can fight Subriel Mateus for his IBF belt, as long as his coach doesn't want him to take any risks.
Well, why would I put Tank in a situation like that when we can't do what we do? Because right now, if Tank don't get a knockout, it's gonna, you get what I'm saying?
It will be hard to pair him up with somebody and still make the money he wants. He is on his own now, as he doesn't have Mayweather to guide him no more. He looks more lost than ever, and even Gervonta doesn't know. Ryan Garcia got played by Rolly Romero, and he's got nobody to blame but himself. Ryan Garcia thought he was holding all the cards. After all, he was claiming to be the A-side. He first rejected Rolly so he can negotiate with Devin Haney, only then to reject Devin Haney so he can renegotiate with Rolly, only to get rejected by Rolly, who then went on to negotiate a fight with Isaac Cruz. But meanwhile, Oscar De La Hoya, the poor soul, is trying to arrange the Ramirez fight for Ryan, only for Ryan to reject it so he can tell him,
"Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. You just don't want to give it to me because you're not in control. I'm in control."
Ryan then thought the fight with Rolly was back on track, so much so that he prematurely posted on social media saying the fight with Rolly is happening. But later that day, PBC posted on their social media announcing that Rolly Romero and Isaac Cruz has been signed and delivered for March, leaving Ryan with egg on his face, looking like a fool and having to retract his original statement. Keith Thurman is back.
Okay, fight fans, let's go. Real news, it's your boy Keith Thurman versus Tim Tszyu.
After 2 years out of the ring, finally, Keith Thurman will face Tim Tszyu for his WBO title on March the 30th on Amazon pay-per-view. But it's reported that it won't be for Tim Tszyu's WBO belt because the WBO allegedly won't sanction the fight. So the fight will be at a catchweight at 155 instead. The PBC are building Tszyu up nicely, and the win against Keith Thurman, even though I believe Thurman is past his prime, will still be a good name on Tszyu's resume. But the big question is, how much does Keith Thurman has left? Is this going to be his cash out fight, or does he still believe he has enough in the tank to go for another world championship? I personally don't believe he has the dog in him anymore, but we need fighters like him in boxing, so I'm happy that Gervonta Davis could be fighting in England. Well, that's if what the reports are saying are true. At the moment, it's only speculation. But if it was true, this would be interesting, because the last time Gervonta Davis fought in England was back in 2017 when he stopped Liam Walsh in 3 rounds. So with this new Amazon deal and Al Heyman determined to try and put on some good fights on the platform, they cannot just bring Gervonta over just for him to fight a bunch of no-names. So off the top of my head, the first few names that comes to mind is Jack Catterall and Josh Taylor, which means that Gervonta has to go up to 140 to fight either of those guys. If he fights either of those names, it will make a great fight and will get a lot of interest from the public. But I know what the people in the US will be saying. Why is Gervonta going to be going to England rather than fighting on home soil? Well, it's simple, my friend. And the reason is something that many people seem to have forgotten. Amazon, just like DAZN, is a global streaming platform. So now with Al Heyman now showing fights on this global platform, he has the potential to showcase all his fights all over the world in different territories. The possibilities are endless. And if you take Saudi Arabia out of the equation, because they're a new player in boxing right now, other than the US, then the UK is the second biggest market for boxing. The fans love boxing over here, and we have a great appreciation for quality fights. I'm just surprised he hasn't brung any fights over here sooner. So for the sake of boxing fans, I'll have my fingers crossed, hoping that this is true and Gervonta is coming over to England to fight, because it'll be great for the fans to see one of the faces of boxing in the flesh. So what do you think about this news? Let me know in the comments. And also let me know what you think about me posting these longer videos. If you like these longer videos, I'm gonna post some more. And anything else you want me to talk about, let me know and I'm gonna talk about it.